where their wife died, their husband died, their children died, where they were susceptible to being killed by hostile forces, where the likelihood was that they were going to get disease and so forth and so on. That was the special privilege of white people who settled this country. The special privilege was to go out and try to make a living growing crops, but when the drought came, to watch your children starve to death. The privilege of going out into places that were filled with swampy areas where you'd be exposed to germs and other things and die because you had no recourse but to die from malaria or whatever they were going to give you, smallpox being, I guess, quite common. They're lying about people. I'm sorry. White people did not suddenly, because of their special privilege, make it big in America. They worked like dogs. They risked their everything in order to do so. And it wasn't just whites. They lie about that too. Black people, Asian people, all the people who came to this country. I am sick to death of their lies. And lying is what they really depend on. There's no truth in a single word they speak because it's grounded in a fundamental lie about the nature of our humanity, which is that we are all vulnerable.
Hold on a second.
And that we are either going to see that as a fundamental premise that we have in common, or allow these liars to drive us apart by pretending that somebody gets where they are without taking the risks inherent in all of us in just being human. And I'm sick to death of it. I reject it all just because it doesn't resonate at all. When you learn more about the experience of real human beings, you see that we have all suffered, that we have all had to experience that sense. The Irish came over here being called names and excluded from jobs and considered inferior by the Anglo-Saxons who lorded over them. The Italians the same way. The Chinese the same way. Why are we trying to argue that being put upon in that way is the special privilege of black people or brown people when whites had to go through it too? I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of all the lies. The Democrats and the left, they are like the father of lies. There's nothing in them that doesn't reek of untruth. And we have to reject it all. Sorry for the tirade, but I just get so sick of it. So I think that you're right. That's what they're trying to do to manipulate us. But I think if we remember the truth, and I have found that the easiest way to remember the truth is to remember that what we make of ourselves turns out to be less fundamental than what God made of us in the first place. And that way, you have a disposition that rejects the lies because you're always looking for the role God played in it, and you're not willing to act as if some people therefore had a privilege that escaped his will, because I don't think they did. But thank you. You always inspire me because you get to the truth in ways that then I think requires that we wake up. We're being manipulated. And your sense of that is so accurate that I hope everybody who listens to our conversations goes away strengthened in the sense that they need to be wary of that kind of manipulation because it's going on right now in a way that I think is extraordinarily deep and telling and that looks as if it's going to destroy our country if we don't wake up. Thank you. And I appreciate it so much.
You.
And thank all of you for listening. And do as I always say. You know, we're here. I hope it's entertaining up to a point, but I hope it's instructive. I hope it's thought-provoking so that you will ponder what you heard and then join us again here at Let's Talk America.